Hello everyone. In my last video I told you that I will show you different ways of propagating African violets. That day is today. Today I have to propagate African violet because I have this violet. As you see, it's dying. All its leaves are wilting and there is no sign of life here. I will show you what happened with this violet. Even though I water them on time and I don't overwater them, but it happened with this violet. As you see, it has brown neck, which means it's decaying. It started rotting. From this leaf you can see till here it's green, and from this place it starts being brown, and it's happening with all of its leaves. And today we have to propagate this violet and have generation from this violet. Okay, let's start. How we start? We will take leaves like so from this violet, because I cannot save this violet, even the top I cannot save. All the plant is dead. There is no sign of life here, as you see. Sometimes we can cut from top and we can plant and root it again, but this time it cannot happen. That's why I am going to propagate these violet leaves. As you see, it started rotting and it's brown, and we have to cut the healthy part and throw away the dead part. From here I can snip or cut, but in my case I always snip. I don't cut. I don't use any knife or something to cut. I do with my fingernails. As you see how I do that. This is that part. I'm not going to use this part. I will go little bit top up and I will snip from this place. I hold this and snip like this. It's very easy. And as you see here, it's wet, and we have to let the wound to heal a little bit. It will get dry after 10-15 minutes. It will get dry, and until that we will do the other leaves. As you see, this leaf started decaying also, but it's not too bad like that one. Some of them they have higher damage, and some of them they have less damage. Okay, let's snip from here. And all of the leaves we will do the same thing. When I told you that violet is dead and there is no sign of life, I was wrong. I did mistake because I didn't see, because I saw only top. I didn't check the root. Then when I was removing these leaves from this violet, these leaves, when I removed this leaf from here, I noticed that this leaf still alive and there is no sign of decaying, and it's not rotting even. It's healthy leaf. If you compare with these leaves, see, they're rotten, but this leaf is healthy still, And then I started paying attention what's wrong with this violet, and I found out that this violet is dying from top, not from the root. I thought that the decaying started from the root system, and if we remove this pot, this soil from the pot, we can see the live roots, white roots. It means root is okay, root system is okay, it's not decaying, but the problem started from the top. It means that my youngest daughter, when she's mad, she likes playing with my flowers. That way she revenges me. And see, as you see, now I am very happy that this violet is not dying. I can remove these top leaves and cut it from the top, and it will start growing babies from the bottom. As you see, the bottom is healthy, green, and only top is brown. You can see green bottom here, and it started decaying from top. I can cut carefully this violet and then have babies. The babies start growing from here, and it will not good nice, but still we can have from this violet something. I'm not losing this violet. Let's do it later. I will show you. I will take separate video about this violet. Now, as I promised you, I will show you different ways of propagating African violet leaves. Now let's clean all these leaves. Let's cut them. Pinch again. I'm showing you again. With all the leaves, we will act like this. We pinch with nails and snip it fast. And let's do it with this violet leaf. See, it's rotten till here. Two-thirds of this neck is decayed already, and I'm gonna snip it close to the leaf part, like so. And this one too. It's brown till here, and I have to go to upper part and snip from the healthy part. And this one is decayed till here, and I can make even, we can plant them without the neck, it's okay. And this one, as you see, it's all dead. We don't have stem now. And now what I can do, I can cut this leaf from half. It will work, don't worry. And this leaf, as you see, it's dead till here, and I will snip from this part. It doesn't have any neck now, but it's okay. Most of them, they don't have neck now. These upper leaves, they are decayed because this violet started decaying from the top, not from the bottom. I didn't know before starting this, before taking these leaves, and now I see that bottom leaves, they are more healthy than the upper leaves. This leaf is dead, and we cannot use this leaf. As you see, it's totally gone. And this leaf, from the front you cannot see the difference, but when you turn the leaf you can see the difference. It's dead up to here, It means I cannot use this part. As you see, it's brown till here. Now you can see. From front you cannot see the difference. It looks the same. But from the behind you can see the difference. Which part is dead, which part is still healthy. And this part is still, this part is dead, and I cannot use this part. I can snip like so. And use half of leaf. And this is the same picture. It's that up to here. I'm gonna snip this leaf like so and take only healthy part. And this has the same picture. It's that up to here, and the rest is healthy still. I'm gonna go a little bit up from the dead part till here and snip from here. This part, as you see, this is brown and this is healthy part, and I go a little bit up to the healthy part and I snip from here, and they will all grow. Don't worry about that they don't have necks. I had this in my experience. And now let's clean this table a little bit until the violet leaves, they will get dry, and these wounds, they will heal a little bit. As you see, it's wet, and after 5-10 minutes it will get dry. Not too much dry, slightly dry. Now you see it's fresh and it's wet. And I will show you when it gets dry, and then we will start propagating these violet leaves in different ways. There are different ways of propagating African violets. First way is rooting African violet leaves in water. How I started growing my African violets. At that time I didn't know anything about African violets. My sister used to grow them and she loves them so much. That time I didn't pay attention for them, and I didn't know what kind of flowers they are even. She was busy all the time with her African violets. She loved them so much. Then suddenly I started loving them too. Now I love them. And then I remember that how she used to propagate her violets. She used to put them in water, and I tried the same way what I saw from my sister. She used to put African violet leaves in water like so, just like this. Simple way of rooting them, just like this. And then I started propagating my violet leaves with the same way. But later on I found out that if we use rooting hormone in this water, it doesn't need to be changed later. It doesn't get bad. That's why I started adding little bit rooting hormone in this water. How I put rooting hormone in water? I don't put in water. I take white leaf like so, and I dip in rooting hormone and I put in water and leave it like this. And this rooting hormone is it will help the violet leaf to root faster, and the roots you will see when they root, you will see thick roots and healthy roots, strong roots, than being just in the water. You can see the difference if you put one violet in rooting with rooting hormone and this other violet leaf without rooting hormone. You can see the difference. When they root, they will root differently. The one which is with rooting hormone, it will have more thick and healthy roots than the one without rooting hormone. Okay, let's discuss the other ways, water rooting ways. Okay, this is my first way, which I used to root my African violets, and later on I learned on YouTube the other ways. Some people, they put on top of the glass cup, they put this aluminum foil and they make hole with knife or something, whatever, with pen you can make hole, and they put wild leaf in here, they place in here, and it will prevent your leaf being drowned in the water. You don't need to worry about that, and the water, it will not evaporate faster, it will long last, and you don't need to add water often. And the other way is this way. You put plastic wrap on top of glass and you make hole on top of it, and you place your wild leaf like so, and you can see if it's reaching the water or not. Even you can make a little bit loose like this, and you can leave your wild leaf in here. This way it has plus sides and it has minus sides. What is plus here? The water will not evaporate fast and it will stay, and you don't need to add water often. But the minus side is you cannot see the violet leg or neck, however you call it. You cannot see if it's touching the water or it's not touching a water or it's decaying. You cannot see. But this way, if you put plastic wrap on top of the glass and you make hole here little bit, and you put here water, and you put your wild leaf in this glass, you can see if it's touching water or not touching, or the leaf can decay anytime. You can observe that. And this is I like more than this one. And the favorite one is this way. You take this kind of cup and you cut it. You cut this cup and you make hole, and you place your wild leaf in this hole like so, and you put in the water. And if the water becomes less, this wild leaf will go with the water down. If there is enough water, it's up, and if it's less water, it goes with the water. And you can put even in big dish or small dish, it's up to you. I will show you in this cup how it will look. It can fit even in this cup like so. You can place it. If you propagate 1 or 2 leaf, this way is the best way. if you decided to propagate your wildlife in water. Now I showed you 5 ways to propagate African wildlife in water. The first way was live in the glass without rooting hormone. The second way with rooting hormone, and the third way with this aluminum foil. And I told you about the plus and minus sides about this. And this is a plastic wrap we put on top of the glass, and this is comfortable to observe this leaf if it's touching the water or not, how it is, if it's decaying or not. We can observe through this plastic wrap, and this is the excellent, the best way of rooting in water. And I showed you 5 ways, but there is something in water. You can propagate African wildlife whenever you want, but it doesn't work in cold season, for example winter season, or whenever it's cold. This way will not work, because I had in my experience, I saw that how many times I put wild leaves and they decayed, they got rot, and I didn't know what was the reason, because before I didn't have this problem, and they started getting rotten, and I found out that it's from cold. Then I started using the different methods of propagating African wilds. Now I will show you them too. The other way is Wick watering way. For this we need this kind of cups, clear cups with caps, and you can make hole in here. You can cut, and this part you don't take out. You can bend it like so and place your cup in here like this, and it doesn't move, it stays here, it's fixed here. And I will show you the other things which we are going to use. This is from salad, you can use this. And how I made the hole here, I take this, for example, this is the same thing. I take this and I take my cup which I want to place in here, and I draw the circle with a knife like so, and now I can see where I have to cut this, and I put knife here in the center, and I cut hole all the way till this lines, like I make plus cut here like so, and it look like this. And you can make even wide this hole, or you can make shorter, tight, like how much you want to bend this, you can bend. You can fix it for these small cups. You can place here small cups, and these things, they will hold your cups. And even you can place this big cup in this. It's very comfortable. And I will show you how to make the wick in the pots. And you can use mayonnaise bottle, and you place your cup in this like so, and this kind of salad plastic containers. You don't even need to draw the circle. It has circle, and you just cut here like so, and you bend it towards the inside like this. You can use for this everything, whatever you have under your hands. And for pots, we can use the small cups. We can use this kind of pots, inch pot, and we can use yogurt cups. This is very small. It's almost equal with a small 1-inch pot. Little bit bigger, but you see it's small. And we can use from applesauce, plastic cups from applesauce, and we can use this kind of plastic cups too. Whatever you have, you can use. Now I will show you how to make wick watering. You can put this kind of knitting thread in the cup, or you can divide because it's too thick, and I prefer to divide it into parts. And we put inside the cup like so, and we hold with our finger the end and put some potting soil halfway, I can say. I put half cup of potting soil, and now I am gonna put vermiculite and perlite mixture. I will fill this pot with vermiculite and perlite mix, and I will hide this knit in the pot. And then I can plant this violet leaf after it will root. When I start seeing roots, enough roots for planting, I will remove this. How I will remove? When it will have roots, I don't need to take out like so. I can damage roots. I easily cut this cup. I break into pieces, and I can take this wild leaf from here and plant in this cup, or right away directly I can plant in this cup. I have to show you now this wild leaves I put in water. I don't want to show these leaves. I have to show you one thing. When it's dry, it looks like this. It's not too much dry and not wet, lightly dry. And now we can plant this leaf directly in this soil. We hold it like this, and this way, little bit angle way, we put in the soil. Why I like planting my African violet leaves in vermiculite and perlite mixture, because they will prevent from rotting, and the babies come out easily through this mixture. And why I put some soil in the pot, because it will get used to this potting soil, and this potting soil will feed later on, will feed my violet leaves and babies. And after we planted this violet leaf, we can put in this water. We can place in this water like so and leave it. And you don't need to worry about watering this violet, and it will never get dry. Whenever you see the water is less in this container, you can add some water. And as you see, it doesn't move. This pot doesn't move even when you move. Before, I didn't know this method, and I made a hole here, a small hole, and I placed my, for example, my pot on the top of this container and put this needle through this hole. Then I found out this method, and I love this method, and now it's better to use this method than this one. This hole you can change. You can make small or you can make big. It can hold small cups like this. It can hold big cups like this. And they don't move even these ones, the small ones, they don't move because we didn't take out these things. We didn't cut them, we left them. And these things, they help to hold the pot, as you see. You can plant this violet leaf in the pot after they root, or you can directly plant in this pot without roots and put here in the water. And you can use these cups, even these cups, and place your cups in this big cup. You can use mayonnaise bottle and place your cup in this and fill with water. The water does not need to touch the pot. They have to be a space between the pot and the water. The bottom of the pot doesn't need to touch the water, otherwise you will decay your plant. And the next way of propagating African wild leaves, which is my favorite, is this way. You take cup, you can make hole in this cup, or you can use this cup without the holes. It doesn't matter. It depends how you are going to water this violet in the future. If you water this, if you are going to water from the bottom, you have to make holes. If you water them from top, you don't need to make holes for the violet babies. For example, I don't have time to water all my plants separately, and I just put some water in this container which I keep my wild babies. I put here some water, and the water goes all around the pots, and these pots, they drink from this water. I don't put much, but little bit, and still it's enough for all of them. Sometimes I water from top, but most of time I water from the bottom. And it depends how you will water in the future. This is one more way of propagating wild leaves. Here, as you see, I planted them in sphagnum moss. What you have to do, you take sphagnum moss and you put rainwater if it's dry, and you soak it. After some times you take it and you drain it, and it has to be moist, not soggy. When you squeeze it, the water can come a little bit, but not much. It's not soggy, but it's moist. And you plant your violet leaves in this sphagnum moss. And this, even I can show you this violet. It's not from this leaf. It's not baby of this leaf. This was the baby, and it was decaying, and I cut the root part and planted in sphagnum moss, and it was for 3 days ago. And as you see, it's strong now. And after some days, after some days, it will start growing roots. And it's not dangerous if I take it out, because it doesn't have roots yet. And as you see, I planted different leaves in this sphagnum moss, and they don't have roots yet, but this is the safest way of propagating violet leaves too. I love this method. And if you have only one violet leaf, you can plant in cup, and in cup you can put sphagnum moss, and you can put in plastic bag like this. And my favorite way, the last way, which I love the most, and always I propagate my violet leaves by this way. This is, as you see in these containers, I have a lot of babies. It's this way. Planting technique is the same which I showed you now before this, showing this, when I showed you Wick watering way. I planted there half cup. I took potting soil, and half vermiculite and perlite mix. And as you see here, roots, you can see roots and babies. It doesn't matter if you cut this leaf with knife or you pinch with your nails, it doesn't matter. And babies can grow. From some violets they can grow only one baby. From others you can see, as you see here, a lot of babies. And from this leaf only one baby. It doesn't matter how you plant them, how you cut them. Babies, it depends from the leaf, and I don't know from what else, but from some violet leaves they grow a lot. From some they grow only one. And here the mother leaf died, and I have to take it out. Lots of babies here too. And this is my favorite way. Why I love this method? Because you don't need to water them often. I don't even open 2 months sometimes. Sometimes when I have time, I check them. If they need watering, I water them. If they don't need, I don't water. Even if I don't water, it's not dangerous for them, because some pots, they have moisture, and from that moisture the water evaporates, and still the in these trash bags they keep it. This trash bag, it keeps moisture, and these violet babies and leaves, they don't die fast. If you leave them outside, not cover, without covering, they can dry out and die fast. And this way, if you put them in trash bags like this, they can keep their moisture, and the leaves can take moisture from the air. Even their pots are dry, they don't die. And this is my favorite way. How I started this way: I put my violet leaves during the winter, I put them in water, and they didn't root. But before they used to root, but I didn't know the reason. And then I found out that it's it's cold. And I cut their stem, and I put again in water, and again it started rotting, and again I cut, and again I put, and then I didn't have any stem, and I didn't have any choice. I said, how to root them, and I put my violets directly in the soil, and after some time I started having babies from my leaves, and as you see I have a lot of them. If you have only one violet leaf, you can plant them in cup and put in Ziploc bag or plastic bag like this, or if you have more than 2 or 3, you can plant them in one pot. As you see in this pot, I planted 3 of them, and I have 3 babies only from each leaf. One baby, and mother leaf died already. Here I had 3 leaves and 3 babies I have. This is tiny baby, but it's still alive. It's growing. It has tiny leaf in the, you see, it has leaves, and you can plant in this kind of plastic containers from cookies. Here I planted 5 leaves, and only 1 leaf still living, and the rest of them, they died, and they have babies, lots of babies. I didn't make hole in this container, as you see. Sometimes I water little bit, not much. I don't touch the leaves, I don't touch the babies. I put water from the sides, and that water goes around the pot, and it makes moist in this container, as you see here. Little fork, and that's it. And here I have leaves which I don't have babies yet. Some of them, they started growing babies, and this violet leaf, it's getting huge, but it didn't give baby. And this one is the same from this. In this pot I planted 3 of them, and this pot only 1, and as you see, it's big, huge violet leaf. It's growing, but it's not going to grow baby. It's happy, and I have to cut this leaf and stimulate it to give babies. And this pot, as you see, it's dry a little bit, and I have to water it. I don't water much, just a few drops every time. Here I put even ZZ plant, and it has roots, and it has bulb even. Everything you can plant, all kind of plant you can plant by this way, because this is small greenhouse, and plants, they feel comfortable and happy. This is baby violet. It's very happy. And you see this leaf, it's huge too. All the leaves, they're getting huge. I don't know why they're growing so big. And they have babies here. And these leaves in this container, they are new. Some of them, they have babies. Some of them, they didn't grow babies yet. And this is half leaf. It didn't have any stem. As you see, it's still alive. And this leaf too. Some of them, they have stem, some of them they don't have, but you can this way. Why this way is the best way? Because sometimes you you don't have stem, like I said, when I rooted in water, I cut the stem, and at the end I didn't have any stem, and I planted them, and now I can root. I know how to root any kind of violet leaf, with a stem or without a stem. All of them, they grow and they give babies. Happy gardening. If you like my videos, please subscribe my channel for more videos. I will share with you my experience. This is all my experience, what kind of problems I have in growing violets, and what kind of success, and how to water violets, when to water. I will make video about that. Thanks for watching. Bye.